Dear ladies and gentlemen, welcome again to the analysis of Yolendo TV. I hope you're well from wherever you're watching this channel. First of all, I'd like to apologize for having been away for quite some time. I was engaged in some little tasks that took most of my time. I hope you're well, and this year inakupeleka vizuri sana. Now let's come back to today's analysis. There was an issue of LGBTQ, and this is something that we know that has been troubling the US. It troubles so many other parts of the Western countries because the Western countries embraced LGBTQ community. These are the lesbians and the gay community. There was a time when Obama came to Kenya and Uhuru Kenyatta was the president back then, and this debate took center stage. But Uhuru told Obama right on his face that Kenya was not ready for such an act in Kenya, though we know that the US have been fronting some of these things, have been fronting the agenda, and recently we saw BIDDEN assent to that bill that give right to gay marriages. I listened to a certain interview when Uhuru Kenyatta took over the leadership of the country. This interview was handled by CNN. Let me remind you about this interview.
One of the major issues, and it's a holdover from sort of colonial Victorian, is the issue of sexual preference in many African countries. In Kenya, to be gay, the LGBT community is illegal. They just want to have equal rights, the same privacy and equality as all other Kenyans do. Is that something that you aspire to for your country?
I want to be very clear, Christiana. I will not engage in a subject that is of no, it is not of any major importance to the people and the Republic of Kenya. This is not an issue, as you would want to put it, of human rights or this. This is an issue of society, of our own base as a culture, as a people, regardless of which community you come from. This is not acceptable. This is not agreeable. This is not about Uhuru Kenyatta saying yes or no. This is an issue that the people of Kenya themselves, who have bestowed upon themselves a constitution, right, after several years, have clearly stated that this is not a subject that they are willing to engage in, yeah, at this time and moment. In years to come, possibly long after I'm president, who knows? Maybe our society will have reached a stage where those are issues that people are willing, freely and open to discuss.
And then, on the same note, I also saw another interview recently, that is last year, when William Samoei Ruto took over the leadership of the country. Again, CNN were interested in this LGBTQ issue, and they took William Ruto through a series of questions, and this is what the president, back then, it was still the president-elect, this is what William Samoei Ruto responded.
I want to talk to you about a specific, human rights situation in parts of Africa and including in your own country. You yourself gained worldwide attention a few years ago when you said there was, quote, no room for homosexuality in Kenyan society. I want to know whether you still stand by that.
We have Kenyan law, we have Kenyan constitution, we have our tradition, we have our customs. We will continue to respect other people's customs as they respect our customs and our tradition. I am very clear that we respect everybody and what they believe in, but we also have what we believe in, and we expect to be respected for what we believe in.
So before I ask you to flesh that out and what exactly does it mean, I want to play you what President Kenyatta said to me about this issue.
I will not engage in a subject that is of no, it is not of any major importance to the people and the Republic of Kenya. This is not an issue, as you would want to put it, of human rights. This is an issue of society, of our own base as a culture, as a people, regardless of which community you come from. This is not acceptable. This is not agreeable.
So he's basically saying homosexuality is not agreeable. You've just said that you're kind of trying to thread the needle, that the law says one thing, but you respect everybody's rights. Will a Ruto administration crack down, like many other leaders in Africa, on the homosexual LGBTQ community, or will you allow them their human rights and their civil rights?
I think on that subject, President Kenyatta was spot on. We do not want to create a mountain out of a molehill. This is not a big issue for the people of Kenya. When it becomes a big issue for the people of Kenya will make a choice. As it is now, we are grappling with 5 million young people who do not have jobs, 4 million people who are hungry, and that is my concern. That is the focus of the people of Kenya at the moment. When the issue you have discussed about homosexuality and the rights of LGBT will come, the people of Kenya will make a choice, and we will respect the choice of the people of Kenya.
Now, from the two interviews, and from the recent interview with the recent engagements of the President of the Republic of Kenya and BIDDEN's administration, it is not easy to tell whether the Kenyan government is in support of LGBTQ or it's not in support of LGBTQ. But from that interview, it is evident that the president was trying to, alikuwa anajaribu kulenga sana hiyo topic, not saying directly that Kenyans are not ready for this. And on this other note, his friend, the current friend, that is the BIDDEN has been supporting this issue, more than 100%. LGBTQ in the US is supported, and when BIDDEN ascended to the bill, that means he was in full support of this. So recently we've been seeing some of these things from America being, practiced here in Kenya. We've seen the issue of GMO. We don't want to talk about GMO, but we saw that issue of GMO, again being brought here to Kenya, and most of the references are being made to the US. But then this issue of LGBTQ has taken a different toll. And mind you, I think the government needs to come clear on whether it is supporting it or not. The issue of EDWIN CHILOBA would not have been the case if at all the government had openly criticized it and discouraged it, just like what's happening in Uganda. In Uganda is a bit, you are found practicing this. There are very tough measures, and you cannot do it in the public. So if you look at the case of EDWIN CHILOBA and his perceived lover, that is now Jackton ODHIAMBO, it's evident that this was something that was known to the public, and it appears that it is something that has been going on and people have been aware about it. So if the government was in full support of the ban of LGBTQ in Kenya, then I think such a thing would not have happened, and maybe EDWIN CHILOBA's case wouldn't have been ended the way it ended. Of course, you know what happened. That was it's like a love triangle kind of thing. From what we've seen and from what I've gathered, it was some kind of love triangle whereby Jackton ODHIAMBO is saying that EDWIN CHILOBA might have gotten another lover, and so this was some kind of jealousy playing in this case. This was some kind of jealousy playing out. So this is the reason why Jackton ODHIAMBO, according to what people are saying and according to the news that's online, is that he got jealous and decided to terminate EDWIN CHILOBA's life. But you see, the family has come out clear to say that they are a Christian family, and their son has not been practicing gayism. So we're yet to see whether this is true or not. But if you look at the pictures, you look at how it was touched in that big metallic box, and if you look at the recent comments that have been online and what he said during the New Year's Eve, it is evident that there was something going on between these two lovers, these two gentlemen. They were lovers. So we can't deny the fact that it is almost 100% a surety that this was the relationship was going on, and it's almost the same reason why the sudden death, sudden death of EDWIN CHILOBA, that is a love triangle kind of thing. And you've seen this with sometimes when you have a girlfriend or a boyfriend, and then this other girlfriend, gets entangled in another relationship with another boyfriend, and then you find yourself two men against one, fighting for one lady, and most of the time it ends up tragically, just the same way EDWIN CHILOBA's life ended. So we're not trying to deny the fact that it was a LGBTQ issue, but what we are saying is that the government needs to come out clear. This Ruto government needs to come out clear and say, we either support it or we don't support it. It is just like the president of Uganda. He came out clear and said that in Uganda, that is a taboo. In Uganda, it is not allowed. So I think the Ruto government needs to come out clear and call spade a spade. There is no point calling spade a big spoon. It is not going to help. Calling spade a big spoon is why now we are in this mess of EDWIN CHILOBA and Jackton Odhiambo, because the government was calling spade a big spoon instead of saying, in Kenya, LGBTQ issue is a non-issue. We don't want to see it here, and that if you found practicing it, death sentence, life sentence, those are the kind of things that are likely to befall you. So because the president has not come out clear to call spade a spade, and instead he has resorted to calling spade a big spoon, and that's what we saw in during that interview of CNN, when he said that that's not an issue, it's not an agenda that Kenyans need to discuss about. Kenyans want to hear issue of food, issue of job security, issue of those kind of issues. So that was in essence trying to say that let us not discuss about LGBTQ right now. That was a response to the CNN interviewer. So ladies and gentlemen, do you think Kenyans have allowed LGBTQ into our community? Can you share to think below the comment section there? And I'd like to hear what your views are. And once again, if you're first time viewers, don't subscribe to our channel, please take a moment and subscribe to EDWIN TV. Give us a like. You can hit the notification bell so that every time we upload such videos, you will always become the first person to get notified. Ladies and gentlemen, stay safe, stay blessed until we catch up again in our next analysis.